afternoon. I'm Mindy Mateuszczyk from the Osseo Maple Grove Press. This is the MapleGroveToday.tv news for Monday, March 16th. Minnesota State Representative Joyce Peppin recently held listening sessions throughout her district, which includes Maple Grove. Today, we have the first in a two-part series of some of Representative Peppin's comments at one of those listening sessions. Let's watch now.
To bring in revenue.
I'm open to Racino. I think when I first got to the legislature, I was really kind of concerned about the expansion of gambling, because I worked at a casino when I was in college, and it's pretty sad sometimes when you see this. When I could tell you the names of 10 people on the slot machine, and they're putting, instead of eating, they're putting their last quarter in. So it breaks my heart to see people that are gambling addicts. However, people have options to go and gamble, and people that are gambling gambling addicts are going to the casinos, and they're going to casinos that aren't paying any state revenue. Other states have renegotiated the compacts they've made earlier. We have a situation here where we get no taxes and we get no competition, which is not good for the state. So, in my opinion, I agreed with what the governor wanted to do when he first came in. I think that either we should reopen the compact where the tribes should pay taxes, or we should open up for competition and not just say, oh, we're going to do this and never do it. I think then we should open it up for competition and have Racino and look at other things because of some of that state money.
Well, they're telling us it's a $3 billion industry.
I
mean, and does anybody realize how much $3 billion is? And 70% of the people in Minnesota, from what I read, are open for.
Well, there have been bills introduced. They haven't come before me, but my intention at this point would be to support that. I've really changed my thinking a lot on the revenue, because I just don't think it's right that we have a monopoly and we're not getting any taxes. And it'd be different, I think, too, if those tax dollars were doing something to help us with our budget.
Yep.
But we still have to pay for things for the tribes. We still have to pay for roads. We still have to pay for schools. They're still getting our tax dollars, so they're a sovereign country, except for when it comes to our tax dollars. So they want to be sovereign, but then they want their own money. And the other thing is, it's the tribes that there's some tribes that are rich and they're sending checks to their members. But go look at northern Minnesota at some of those tribes where the casinos can't make it. They are dirt poor, and they need some of that revenue, but there's no sharing going around. So you have tribes that are ungodly wealthy, and then you've got tribes that are more impoverished than Minneapolis, probably some of the worst areas in Minneapolis. So it's it just doesn't seem like it's right that people are just getting $1 million checks and it's going to no use for any of the other tribes or the state or anything. It's just going into people's pockets.
Well, and what about the lottery?
Right.
Well, the state runs it. That's gambling.
And the other
so
thing
what's the
is,
difference with the casino?
Well, the other thing, it doesn't have to be a state-run casino.
No.
It can be private sector, because we get the point is we get the tax revenue if it's a private sector. So there's nothing that says the state has to run that casino. It can be, there are plenty of private individuals who would love to open up that. So I'm open to.
I think there's going to be a bill that's to be introduced here soon, and it wasn't concerning a Racino. I think it was concerning a whole new facility, and that facility was like $500 million. And the question was how long would it take to recoup that? Have you heard anything about a new facility, like downtown or something like that?
Probably, because there's different ideas that I'm hearing that have been bounced around. The one probably closest that I've heard is I know that there's a bill that's gotten some press that would have some type of a casino that would pay for a new Viking stadium, so that revenue would just go to pay for a stadium.
I read that one too, yeah.
Yeah, so that may be what you're thinking of, and
Our second installment of Peppin's comments will air tomorrow. Be sure to watch. Now, in community news, there are 3 meetings to make note of this week. Tonight, the Maple Grove City Council meets at 7:30 p.m. It looks like the council may discuss some consent agenda items, as there is nothing under special business. The council will hear reports from the Director of Public Works, Jerry Butcher, on engineering items, and from City Administrator Al Madsen on possibly conducting a special City Council meeting, which would be scheduled for Monday, April 6th at 6 p.m. The special meeting would be for ethics training and other administrative items. Also meeting tonight is a special joint Osseo City Council, Osseo Planning Commission, and Economic Development Authority meeting. This meeting begins at 7:30 p.m. or immediately following the regular meeting of the Planning Commission. This meeting will take place in the council chambers of Osseo City Hall. The special meeting will be to discuss the Central Avenue Improvement Project. Then tomorrow night, the Osseo School Board will meet at 8 p.m. at the Educational Service Center. On their agenda, a presentation is scheduled regarding the campus schools, which includes Cedar Island, Fair Oaks, and Oakview. Cedar Island and Fair Oaks were redesigned by the school board last year as pre-kindergarten through 3rd grade schools, and Oakview was redesigned as a 4th through 6th grade school. In other school news, the annual Wastebasket Revue will once again take to the stage. So what is this unusually named event anyway? Well, each year for the last 42 years, nearly 300 employees of the Osseo School District have put on a full-stage production to raise money for scholarships for graduating seniors at Maple Grove, Osseo, and Park Center Senior Highs. Over $800,000 has been awarded during the last 4 decades, with 659 scholarships being awarded. Last year, $34,000 was awarded in scholarships. This year's production is called USO, Home Away from Home. It will be performed April 16th through 19th and April 23rd through 25th at Park Center High School. For more information on showtimes and ticket prices, call the Wastebasket Revue Ticket Hotline at 763-391-7205. In the weather, I bet many of you left the coats at home today as the high temperature rocketed to 60 degrees. The forecast reports partly cloudy skies today, but there certainly was enough sunshine to give us a glimpse of spring, finally. Overnight tonight, the low temperature will be 36 degrees. Tomorrow, spring-like temps will continue with a mainly cloudy day reaching a high of 54 degrees. Dare I say, spring may have finally arrived in the metro. The rest of the week is looking good with temps in the 40s, and further ahead next weekend could break 50 degrees both days. How's that for a bit of good news on a Monday? Thanks for joining us today. If you're a Leprechaun fan, be sure to wear your green tomorrow. Have a great day and tune in tomorrow for our next broadcast of Maple Grove Today.